Woohoo!
Hello! Hello, and welcome to another episode of TV Tournament. This time, it's 90s cartoons. Woo!
Woohoo!
So we will have two shows go head to head, and we will decide what show is the number one cartoon of the 90s. Do you want to get right into it, Bobby, or do you want to
I
start with some like shameless plug of a certain
oh my
podcast?
gosh. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. I would love to plug the Hi, I'm Bobby podcast. It's available in most places where podcasts are available, mainly Spotify. Just go to Spotify. But it's the Hi, I'm Bobby podcast. I have 2 episodes out. They're both like 9 minutes. It's a very quick little boom bam bop. But yeah, just join me over there every Wednesday around 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time ish. May sometimes 1, but mostly 12. That's what I try to shoot for. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And I listened to the first episode, and it was very intriguing.
Thank
I
you.
do highly recommend it.
It's Momo approved, so go check it out, if nothing else.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I think it's time to get started.
It's time. Let's do it.
Hi ho, we have our voice in the sky. Do you want to say hello, Hi ho?
Hi.
Hi ho is acting as our great and powerful Oz, and will be kind of like the tiebreaker if we can't agree, if Bobby and I can't agree. And will also act as your voice chat if we can't answer your questions quick enough. So, Hi ho, can you please put the first 2 shows on the board? There's a list. They're numbered. So yes. Oh, okay. Captain Planet versus Pepper Ann.
Ooh. Hold on, I'm like stalling out really badly.
I mean, I know my pick, but if we don't agree, we will have to go into categories. And this is probably a good time to bring up the categories. The categories that the shows will be judged on, if we can't agree, first come, first serve. Theme song, cultural impact, representation, voice acting, originality, and vibes. With a Z, obviously. For like optimal vibes.
Mm-hmm. I don't feel like this is too hard. I think we were planning on doing like first round. We're just like doing quick knockouts,
last time we didn't, and it went on forever. For anyone that doesn't know, Captain Planet, if you've never heard of the show, I'm just gonna read the premise, which is just the intro of the show, like how Avatar: The Last Airbender does. Our world is in peril. Gaia, the spirit of the earth, can no longer the spirit of the earth can no longer stand the terrible destruction plaguing our planet. She sends 5 magic rings to 5 special young people. Kwame from Africa with the power of earth. From North America, Wheeler with the power of fire. From Eastern Europe, Linka with the power of wind. From Asia, Guy with the power of water. And from South America, Matai with the power of heart. When the 5 powers combine, they summon Earth's greatest champion, Captain Planet. This kind of feels like it's Voltron, just kidding. Voltron, but like environmentalist Voltron.
This is a very self-righteous show. I never I didn't realize it was so self-righteous.
It really was.
I mean, like rightfully so. It's got a good message, but
it's a great message. Like
I didn't realize the intro was like so.
It was so long. I was very worried. And then
it's very worried.
Yeah.
The fact that Africa is Earth and North America as a show that showed in the US as fire, something about that. Something about the combination.
Yeah.
It
racially
motivated for sure. And
sure.
Pepper Ann it was created by Sue Rose. It follows the title character through trials and tribulations of middle school. And fun fact, it is the first Disney animated series created by a woman. That came out in 1997.
Well, better late than never.
Yeah.
I guess. So should we bring it to a vote? I feel like we're aligned, maybe?
I hope so. I say Pepper Ann.
I'm also saying Pepper Ann.
Okay. I'm sorry, Captain Planet. You had a very good message. It was enough to get you past the first round, though.
It was not a strong enough message.
Not a strong enough message. And let's see. Okay. You ready for the next two shows?
Ooh.
Recess versus Hey Arnold.
Oh
no.
oh no, but also I don't know. There's an obvious choice here. I'm just saying.
Like, I'm sorry. We might have to actually deliberate this because I love both of these shows deeply.
I do too, but Momo, there is an objective winner here.
I know.
And you know it.
There's an objective winner. However, I might have to use my save to save one of these shows if we don't agree.
Okay. I will allow that. This was my it's getting through regardless pick.
Okay.
So one of these shows. So I'll deliberate.
Okay. For anyone that doesn't know, if you were born in the maybe mid 2000s, Recess is a show. It follows 6 fourth graders, TJ Detweiler, Vince Lassell, Ashley Spinelli, Mikey Bloomberg, Gretchen Grundler, and Gus Griswold from 3rd Street Elementary School during recess. 3rd Street Elementary School is actually set in Little Rock, Arkansas, if you didn't know that.
Interesting.
Interesting fun fact. Arkansas. Yeah. I feel like there could have been, even though the show was really political, actually, they kind of fumbled the bag setting it in Little Rock, Arkansas, and not talking more about race.
Yeah. Was it super political? I feel like
it was actually really political.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess I'm just remembering the real light episodes. It was Recess was a good show. But
it was a really good
the heavy episodes.
Actually, I did pull fun facts from Wikipedia. This is directly from it. You could look it up and read it with me if you wanted to. A major satirical point of the show is that the community of students at school is a microcosm of traditional human society, complete with its own government, class system, and set of unwritten rules. Recess is illustrated to be a symbol of liberty, which is very interesting. Never thought about it that deep before.
Me neither, but honestly, in thinking back on it that makes a lot of sense.
It was a super political show. When I was reading the in-depth description on Wiki, I was like, damn, I didn't remember this, but you're right. So, and Hey Arnold, also for maybe you late 2000s kids, it's about Arnold, a football-headed 9-year-old from the fictional city of Hillwood. He lives with his grandparents at this boarding house, and the episodes are really him helping his neighbors or classmates through a personal problem. It's also really good.
It's incredibly good. I've been revisiting it, rewatching it lately. And a lot of the key episodes that we remember about the show, they were all from the first or second season, and I think it ran for
really.
Yeah, a lot of those most prominent episodes,
first
or second season, and really first 3 or 4 episodes. It's crazy.
I'm 90% sure it had 4 to 5 seasons. I have to double check that. Or hi-ho, can you fact check me, please?
I know it had a movie too.
It did have a movie. I distinctly remember the villain singing.
Hey Arnold, or for Recess?
Yes, Hey Arnold.
We are actually talking about the movie in the comments.
No, how many seasons did it have?
listen, my fingers don't move as fast as you think they do, so you need to hold up.
I distinctly remember the villain saying, like, you take the high road and I'll take the low road. And I was like, yeah, he sang it in the movie.
It was a song? Am I
like,
just not remembering the movie?
He was like, you take the high road and I'll take the low road. He sang it in like a Scottish accent?
Yeah, that's why I sang it in the Scottish accent. Please pay attention to me.
It wasn't a very good Scottish accent, gotta say.
Should have consulted Mike Myers for his Scottish accent.
Honestly,
have been in Scotland for over a year. Me.
How'd you not pick up the accent?
First of all, which accent? They have fucking several. I don't have a Dundee accent. Calm your ass down. It's 5 plus a question mark.
Okay, it did have five seasons. 5 question mark.
5 plus a question. Okay, I guess because they
I think they deliberated bringing it back.
Yeah, but then they just ended up doing like the Jungle movie instead. Mm-hmm. But it was like damn near like 10 years too late, I would say.
I agree.
The people that would have cared about that movie were full-grown adults with kids. Like,
and we were a little bit too busy to see it because I remember being excited they were making a movie, but it probably came out. It came out when I was like in nursing school, so I didn't have time to go watch it.
Yeah.
Fun fact: I went to nursing school.
We're just revealing so much about ourselves. Yeah. So I guess should we do our the categories since we're talking about it?
I mean, I pick Recess.
Wow. Okay. I'm thinking Hey Arnold, so we're gonna have to.
We're gonna have to deliberate it.
Or we could both use our one of us could use our pass of like this. We'll just let both of these go through.
I'm gonna use my pass. Okay. So I use my one pass to Recess because I cannot let it get eliminated in the first round.
Well, do it now because I promise you, if it's not going to make it very far, if it has to come back around to Hey Arnold. I'm just saying.
I know. Oh, it's sad. It's sad to say, but you're right. So now,
I can't.
As of right now, Pepper Ann. Is it Pepper Ann? Yeah, Pepper Ann, Hey Arnold, and Recess have made it to the second round. Hi-Ho, can you please put the next 2 shows on the board?
I don't know when my stream is like lagging behind, so I have like a delayed reaction.
I have to watch it. Okay. This is also 2 hard ones.
Which one is it? That's what I mean. Like the stream that I opened up in a separate window is like behind, so I'm having a delayed response.
Daria versus the Magic School Bus.
Oh, those are just such distinctly different shows.
They have very, very different tones. Very different tones.
Because one is definitely like the show that you watched on MTV and you felt like a little like grown up about it. You're like, ooh, I'm watching Daria. And then one is definitely the show that your teacher put on when it was raining outside and you couldn't go to recess. Or if you needed to learn about, I don't know, symbiotic relationships or something. That was, I don't know. That's hard though.
I'm just going by which one had more of an effect on me as a human being. And that has to be the Magic School Bus.
I am agreeing with that.
Okay.
I agree.
So unfortunately, in an upset, Daria eliminated in the first round.
It's another case of if it went up against anything else, maybe it would have won. Gone through, but this one, nah, the nostalgia is too thick.
Unfortunately. All right. Let's see. The next round, Rugrats versus probably a little bit of a delay. Dexter's Laboratory.
Oh wow. Oh wow. God, that's hard.
This is hard. I mean, like, it's hard, but it also isn't.
I think we're trying to save face for the sake of chat and be like, oh, it's so hard. Yeah. But I do have my choice.
I have my choice as well. Rugrats.
Same.
Okay. You know, because I feel bad about eliminating Dexter's Laboratory, I did write a little bit about it. So about Dexter's Laboratory,
A eulogy for
a eulogy for Dexter's Laboratory. It was created by Jendi Tartakovsky. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And it follows Dexter, a little like boy genius inventor, and is in a super secret laboratory that he keeps hidden in his room. Despite his levels of security, his sister Dee Dee manages to break in constantly. Fun facts about Dexter's from Wikipedia. It actually started with Tartakovsky.
Tartakovsky, yeah.
Being inspired by designs of a ballet dancer, and Dee Dee came first, and Dexter was invented to be like kind of like the foil to Dee Dee.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
And then typical man, he gets the show over Dee Dee.
Also,
wow.
Dee Dee was the inspiration, but you chose the picture without her.
I mean, I didn't know that when I chose the picture. Also, it's the only one that would format on the screen. Let's see. What else did I have? Oh, and the sibling dynamic between Dee Dee and Dexter was based off of Tartakovsky's relationship with his own brother. Tartakovsky being Dee Dee and his brother being Dexter.
Oh, so why isn't it like, I don't know, like I feel like Dee Dee was an interesting enough character to carry like the show.
Maybe? I guess so. I don't know why he decided to go with Dexter, even though Dee Dee was his like muse. Could this be a bit of misogyny in like a network being like, no one wants to see a show about a girl wearing a tutu?
Also,
possibly.
Dee Dee was a foil. Most things that happened interestingly to her was through Dexter. She was
true.
That's true.
Her show would have been just vibes.
Yeah, and also she wasn't very bright, bless her heart. She just wasn't. So, like,
I mean, like, I feel like she was a secret genius because she constantly broke into his laboratory, and he had like every security system like known to man.
I mean, I guess, but like, I don't know. She didn't seem. I don't think it's that she was smart. She just was like, she had common sense, which super geniuses don't always have that built in. Like, they have to learn that.
Foreshadowing.
So,
for a different show on the list, foreshadowing.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dexter's Laboratory won 3 Annie Awards with 4 nominations for Primetime Emmy Awards, 4 Golden Reel Awards, and 9 other. And is nominated for 9 other Annie Awards. It says the series is notable for helping launch the careers of animators Craig McCracken, I cannot speak today. Seth MacFarlane, Butch Hartman, Paul Ruddish, and Rob Renzetti. Rob Renzetti, if you might know from my TikTok, created My Life as a Teenage Robot.
He sure did. And I think Craig McCracken, he did Powerpuff Girls. Butch Hartman did Fairly Odd Parents. Seth MacFarlane, Family Guy, and Like American Dad. And then Paul Rudish, I think he did.
Is it Rudish or Ruddish?
I think it's Rudish. I think he did Animaniacs.
We will see. Actually, we won't see. I did not write his name down in the description for Animaniacs.
Part of Dexter's Laboratory, which is Mandark's chokehold on the world with his
Oh my god, that just brought me back to like elementary school where all the kids were like doing the laugh. Back in the day, that's what we had. We didn't have the like thing from I think like for kids these days it was the Circus Afro from Madagascar. That was like their thing that they really like clutched onto.
We're very annoying about the
we were very annoying about the we were very annoying about the ha 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 laugh.
Mandar is such a stupid name. I'm sorry. If there's anyone out there whose name is Mandar, babe, it's time to change. Let's go ahead and change that name.
I think that you're missing the hard K.
Even worse. Mandar with a hard K. Okay. Whoa.
Okay. So that was the very long send-off to a very great show. Just simply not enough to pass the first round of TV tournament.
I will remember you. That's
now it is South Park versus Batman the animated series.
This is easy. I'm sorry.
This is so easy.
Not taking any time on this one.
Obviously, this is Batman.
South Park, truly, those cheap ass paper cutouts didn't stand a chance. I'm sorry.
I'm not really sorry to anyone offended that South Park gets eliminated in the first round. Batman the Animated Series has been widely recognized as one of the best cartoons ever created.
And
will it win cartoon TV tournament? We don't know yet.
Probably not, but it'll get very far.
Probably not, but it'll get very far.
It'll get super far. So I love that for it.
Yeah. So far, we have Pepper Ann, Hey Arnold, Recess, The Magic School Bus, Rugrats, and Batman the Animated Series going on to the second round. The Animaniacs versus... There's a little bit of a delay, but you'll see it soon. Family Guy.
Oh, another easy one.
This is also another easy one. See, the thing is, Bobbi, the easier it is for us this round,
the harder it's going to be.
Yeah, the harder it's going to be by the second round.
But that's okay. I just like taking Family Guy down a peg and being like, oh, yeah.
Animaniacs, obviously.
Objectively better, I would say. Objectively.
I also didn't have a description written down for Family Guy because I'm fairly certain people know what Family Guy is about. If you don't know what the Animaniacs is about, should we give them a little bit of a explanation now?
Let's save it. Let's save it.
Okay, let's save it.
I will say
so people can understand
that I will give Family Guy is that it was part of my gay awakening because it was on Adult Swim and my parents let me fall asleep to TV and I fell asleep to Cartoon Network when I was like 8 or 9 years old. And I woke up to a very specific episode where the cheerleader opens her shirt and chicken drumsticks are where her tatas should be. But like, and I know this sounds racially motivated. It's not about the drumsticks. It was just like something about my brain being like, why is this lady opening her shirt and why am I excited about her opening her shirt? Turns out, I like women.
That was a roller coaster from start to finish. I thought we were just going to get, and that was the first time I saw tatas. And then I heard chicken and I'm like, okay.
I mean, it's very on brand for Family Guy.
It's the most random humor that like usually has no real payoff. It's just random. Like, I don't like Family Guy. I'm so sorry. When you have the like Bob's Burgers and like Simpsons of the world, I don't need Family Guy. I just don't have the bandwidth for it. But,
next, we have the Wild Thornberries versus... Hold on. Actually, can we take an intermission for a second? Because there's a bit of technical difficulties.
Yeah. I don't know why I was saying yeah. It's not contingent upon.
We are back. It's sorted out. Everything A-okay. So we are Wild Thornberries versus Goof Troop. Should be prepped on the screen. There's just a delay. Sorry. Moving parts. So it's up against the Wild Thornberries and Goof Troop.
This isn't that hard to me because I've never seen Goof Troop. So
you've never seen Goof Troop? Are you serious?
It was very early 90s. And it just never, like, it was kind of like a blip on my radar. Like, I know that...
serious? That's, like, real shocking to me.
I learned very recently that Goof Troop is, like, leads into the first Goofy movie. Like, that is the, like, I guess TV, like, movie spin-off. I just learned that. But I have not seen Goof Troop just because I was like, I mean, it's fine.
And, like, honestly... Goof Troop. If you don't know,
I thought you were picking it over Wild Thornberrys. I'm like,
no.
Is it that good?
I obviously it has to get eliminated, but before we do a send off, before it gets eliminated officially, let's give it a eulogy. So if you don't know, Goof Troop actually came before the Goofy movie and an extremely Goofy movie. It had like 2 to 3 seasons, and then the movies acted as like the end of the show, which is really strange considering that. Thank you, Spade.
Is it a big time jump? Because I feel like in Goof Troop, Max is considerably younger, and then in the Goofy movie, he's like,
I think it starts when he's 11, but like it has like 2 to 3 seasons, so I'm assuming he ages.
Is it aging in real time? Because he in this cover art, he looks to be about 12.
I think he might be 11 here.
I don't know the Goof time continuum. I don't know how they age. They like dogs. They could be like dogs, and they age like 7 years, so like
possibly. Oh no, Bobby, you're just static on the screen.
I'm scrambling again. I don't know what it is. Like,
I don't know.
I add some flavor to the stream.
Hopefully, you just come back. I think
that's what I did the last time. I scrambled and then I came back. I'm like a glitch, like Vanellope on tweets. This glitch.
I think I think Amelia said that if you clear the just kidding. Bobby's back. So Goof Troop, it leads into the other 2 movies. So the Extremely Goofy movie is actually the series finale of Goof Troop.
Interesting.
Fun fact. This is like the first time I've really heard of a TV series having spin-off movies rather than like the movies having a spin-off TV series.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That's interesting. I did not. I just thought that these movies truly existed in a silo.
No, they were spin-offs of this apparently only well-loved by me TV series.
I'm guessing so because it's always a show that I heard about and I was like, that's a show, and then I just elected to not watch it.
It's a great series, honestly.
All right.
But it did not pass the first round.
Sure didn't. Not good enough of a series. Is what I'm hearing.
I don't think it even won any awards, honestly.
Yeah, because you were the only one watching it.
Yeah. I wasn't even alive when it was on the air.
Syndication. That's when you gave it its flowers.
Syndication.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Now we got Courage the Cowardly Dog versus, I'm gonna be honest, doesn't even matter what show it's up against. The Courage is getting eliminated.
Really?
I hate this series with a burning passion.
Would you care to elaborate?
I don't really have to. I just hate it. No, not that like I don't have to. Like, to be rude, I don't have to limit it, like
there's
elaborate because there's nothing more to say. I just hate the series. I don't really love scary things.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. I get
and like
that.
This had a lot of like deep, scary stuff that I just didn't fuck with. And I also loved the Powerpuff Girls, so this makes the decision even easier.
Yeah. Courage, I don't think was going to get past the first round, no matter who it was up against.
The only way it would have gotten past the first round is if it was like up against South Park.
Yeah, or like Captain Planet, like a show that like I
would have voted for Captain Planet.
Wow, really?
out of spite. I do hate Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Damn, I didn't know this beef went that deep.
And like, obviously I didn't hate Courage. I just hated everything else about the show.
Okay, that makes sense.
But
it's not winning against Powerpuff Girls. I'm just saying, but go ahead.
Same. For everyone else that happened to love Courage the Cowardly Dog, this week, actually, the crossover between Courage and Scooby-Doo just came out, I think on HBO Max.
Mm-hmm. Because, I don't know.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers animation group is bored, so they needed a summer project.
And Hi-Ho had like actually made a TikTok, like I think a couple months before the movie was even announced, about how there should have been a Courage the Cowardly Dog, like Scooby-Doo crossover. I guess like manifested it.
That friendship with Momo ended over this. Hi-Ho.
Okay.
It is one of my favorite shows of all time. So I'm gonna take this personally, and I'm never gonna speak to you again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's gonna make the rest of the stream real awkward.
Unfortunately, I didn't have the power to just like exit out. I did include it in the in the show. I feel like that was a great compromise.
No,
your compromises. It got put on the list. It got put on the list, but
it did get eliminated. But
I think I was the one who pitched Courage, because when you sent me the initial list, Courage was not on there.
It wasn't
decimated. Exterminated. Like
I hated this show. I hated this show so much.
The way I almost got a Courage the Cowardly Dog tattoo on a Friday the 13th, the way this has ended our friendship forever.
I mean, like, I don't hate Courage. I just hate the show.
Courage made me, like, try Flan.
The black queen that she is deserves better.
Is Muriel? Here we go. Here's another one. Clip this, because here we go.
Is Muriel black?
What?
Okay.
What
before we deliberate, I just want to point out that when I did research the show, she is a Scottish woman that married a terrible American man.
Eustace is the most awful man.
He is the worst. So before you want to go and headcanon her as black, just know she is married to the worst white guy out there, and he is absolutely racist. So do you want to headcanon her as black?
First of all, me and Choco Dyke, we are together in this. Momo over. My best friend Choco Dyke now.
I'm trying to figure out. Again, I feel like.
Do you want to curse her to that life?
Eustace spent his days gaslighting a dog. I don't want to give our black queen that horrible relationship. This man spent his days gaslighting a pink dog. I'm not putting her through that.
What she had to do for that visa. I will not put disrespect on her name.
Unfortunately. Okay, we're gonna move on, I guess. I will not subject her to that. So I will not say she's black, because I would never want a black woman to be in that situation. Even if she is black, no, because no way is a nice black lady married to that awful man.
Wow.
Next two shows: X-Men, the animated series versus SpongeBob SquarePants. Listen, before we deliberate,
this is not hard to me. But
I do want to say I was one of those kids that my mom wouldn't let me watch SpongeBob.
Oh.
Because he set a bad example.
I mean, SpongeBob really just had some type of like attention deficit disorder, I think. So if anything, that is neurodivergent representation at its finest. But I get it. Yeah. He was a lot, but it was a great show. So
also the way X-Men owns my soul, I am voting for X-Men.
Okay, well, I guess we're gonna have to do this one out, because I am definitely voting for SpongeBob.
Okay.
I like X-Men enough, like as far as like 90s superhero shows, it's a great show. It's not a better show than SpongeBob to me. I'm so sorry. Like I can't do that.
Okay, we're gonna have to duke it out, honestly. Yeah. So that means we have to go to our categories. For those that don't know our categories, there are 6 categories: theme song, cultural impact, representation, voice acting, originality, and vibes. Theme song. The X-Men
theme song does slap a little bit.
It does slap.
It's just instrumental.
It is just an instrumental. So that is not working in its favor.
It's hard because it's a really good instrumental though. But then SpongeBob, we have to be real with ourselves.
SpongeBob had, ooh, who lives in a pineapple under the sea? SpongeBob SquarePants. Like, we can sing the whole thing to its entirety, so it does earn a 5 for theme song.
Mm-hmm. It does. It has to. It's just like it's so iconic. Like,
it is
objectively so.
So I have to give X-Men, like, I'm gonna say a 3.5 because it is just an instrumental.
I would say so, yeah. I was gonna give it a 3. Like, it's a solid 3, but it's a 3.
Okay. I'm gonna bump it up to 3.5. Are you okay with that?
I'll give it that 3.5. I mean,
to save me the math, I'm really bad at math, so I'm just gonna say 3.5.
I was trying to help you by giving you a whole number rather than a fucking decimal. But if you want to do decimals, go off.
So wait, what was next? Cultural impact. Listen.
I'm listening.
The X-Men animated series this is a quote, it did inspire the movies. So we got the whole list of, were they great movies? That's subjective. Okay. They did have multi-million-dollar movies because of this animated TV series. And what does SpongeBob have? A lot as well.
Ask questions you know the answer to. What does SpongeBob have? A hell of a lot more than X-Men, I would say.
I would disagree, but they also had a lot.
SpongeBob also had theatrical releases, Momo.
It did have a theatrical release. It had two.
And X-Men can be attributed to the fact that Blade was the first superhero movie that did well. So you connecting it to the cartoon does not hold as much weight as you want.
If it was an animated film that like went and it inspired a bunch of stuff, I feel like we would maybe have some contention. However, these were characters that existed in comics. So in theory, did we need the TV show?
It is credited. It is officially credited for being responsible for the 2000 X-Men live action film. So that is what it's credited for.
Okay. I'll give it that. But beyond that, because I feel like the X-Men series of films, they are not like,
I'm fighting for my life here.
You're fighting for your life, because you're gonna fight for your life, because we could have been done, but now you want to go defend.
I want to defend X-Men. I cannot be
passes all willy-nilly.
I think I used it really well. However, I cannot
saving X-Men.
Not fight for X-Men, considering like I built my whole platform off of superheroes. I'm not going to let it just lose to SpongeBob without a fight.
I mean, go off, you can, but it will still lose. Next.
The way SpongeBob is used in the cultural zeitgeist, even the 2 hours later, the impact that has. I am so sorry, Momo.
I know it's had. It's gonna lose fair and square though. It's gonna lose fair and square. So cultural impact. Unfortunately, SpongeBob gets a 5.
Unfortunately.
I am going to give X-Men a 4.
Yes. I will give it. It's like, if it inspired the live action X-Men films, then yeah, the cultural impact is there. It's just not the same as on merchandising alone.
Yeah.
SpongeBob's impact. Come on.
True. Also, fun fact, my dad provided some like prop work for the first SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Right? Representation. X-Men had a real life black person. Had a real life black person.
Okay.
And SpongeBob had
animals.
A black coated squirrel.
Sandy is black coated.
Let me have this, okay? You're not gonna take. You took away Nigel Uno. You're not taking Sandy Cheeks. You're not taking her away from me.
I mean, Momo, I feel like we need to have a side conversation of what is black coded and what is not to you. Because you said that with such conviction, like it was known that Sandy was black coded. She's black coded in the musical, but
and where do you think they got that from?
No.
Yeah.
The only reason that they cast a black woman is to replicate Sandy's dome, and the only people that can do that is a black woman with the afro. That is shoddy at best. I'm sorry. I'll let you have this one, but we need to talk about black coding.
Let me just have Sandy cheeks, okay? Apparently, what I realized is how black coding worked when I was a child. If they were brown, they were just black to me.
Is it because she's Southern?
It's because she's like colored brown. I was like, yes, this is obviously a black girl.
She's brown and Southern.
Yeah,
I get
she's
it.
brown and also from Texas. You know who's also brown and from Texas? Beyonce.
Okay.
I rest my case.
Okay. I don't know how we got to. You are grasping at straws, my love. You are grasping.
I really am.
Straws.
I really hope that if you ever meet Beyonce, she knows this clip and she goes, "You compared me to
a squirrel."
Cheeks."
Beyonce.
Oh my.
Honey, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry.
Beyonce, sweetie.
Oh my god. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
This is the only representation you got.
So a 3 for black coding the squirrel. A 4 for X-Men for having a whole life black person.
Yes.
Was Jubilee also in the X-Men animated series? I don't remember because I liked X-Men Evolution more.
I have no idea. Maybe.
I think
I'll
Jubilee was in it. So that means a black and an Asian person. Then the next one, voice acting. Acting. Fuck it. Just give it to SpongeBob. I give up. Like I fought as long as I could. I fought.
I promise I won't tell a superhero TikTok.
Yeah.
But you let this happen.
After this, it was originality, and X-Men came from a whole ass comic book series. Like there wasn't a lot to work with there.
Why did we do this whole song and dance? You knew that X-Men was not about to go over SpongeBob.
I knew, but also I was not going to let it go down without a fight. So
and that's noble, but how this fight went down? Oh my gosh.
Okay. Next 2 shows, Futurama versus Pinky and the Brain. For those that don't know, Pinky and the Brain were 2 characters from the Animaniacs cartoon that got their own spin-off series. And then Futurama, I feel like everyone knows it.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen it? I've seen episode 1 and then like an episode here and there.
I have plans on watching it because I do like Matt Groening. Like I love The Simpsons and I like Disenchanted. I should know the name of it.
I think it's Disenchantment.
Yeah, it was fine. Like it's a fine show, and I know Futurama is good. So I'm not saying like I haven't seen it because I don't think it's good. Like I know it's good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just like Pinky and the Brain more. I know it's not a better show.
It's not a better show, but I don't think we should eliminate Futurama so early.
I don't either.
I think it's like objectively a better show. However, I did see Pinky and the Brain more.
So someone in chat is right. Pinky and the Brain is an extension of Animaniacs. And technically they do appear in episodes.
You also saw Pinky and the Brain more because you were a child when it came out, and that one was for children. Futurama is not something you should have watched as a child.
No.
As we learned from my Family Guy Sexual Awakening.
Like, I know Futurama is objectively a better show. Like, objectively.
Yeah. I feel like we can get Futurama through like over Pinky and the Brain on the technicality that Pinky and the Brain technically was a part of Animaniacs episodes, I feel.
Okay. So, okay, we will eliminate Pinky and the Brain.
So Futurama goes through.
Yeah. Now, can we do a send-off for Pinky and the Brain first? Like, really quick?
Yes.
Okay, send-off for Pinky and the Brain. What did I write down? So, just kidding. I didn't have anything. Anything else. It's goodbye. Bye.
You made it a point to be like, wait, we gotta save it. And then there was nothing there.
It was Pinky and the Brain versus what? A Futurama. Okay. I'm just keeping track. Johnny Bravo versus Pokemon. Obviously Pokemon. I can't with all honesty push forward Johnny Bravo.
I really like Johnny Bravo. I'm not gonna push it over Pokemon. Like I'm not insane. But
okay. I mean, you could use your save and push Johnny Bravo to the next round if you wanted to.
How many do we have left? Because I don't know if I'm trying to say Johnny Bravo. I'm not using my save for a
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shows left.
Okay, no, and I'm sure that there's a show that I like infinitely better. Like I just like Johnny Bravo. That's it.
Okay,
but Pokemon, like it's got to go through.
Bye, Johnny. I also didn't have anything written through because I was gonna fight you if you were trying to push it over anything.
I'm not.
Just said that you were officially uncanceled.
Why would I be canceled for it?
Courage the Cowardly Dog. You were uncanceled.
Okay.
Since Courage the Cowardly Dog, you are now uncanceled.
All right. Thank you, Mochi Princess 97.
I'm glad I'm just not getting eaten up by chat because last time
you got devoured by chat.
I truly was getting like chewed the fuck up by chat. I was just duking it out in chat. It really got me.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So it's Rocket Power. Oh, that's such a fucking good show. Versus Rocket Power? Oh, Doug. Rocket Power versus Doug. Bobby, work with me here.
I'm going to say Rocket Power. Do you think I was going to choose Doug?
I was concerned. Concerned.
Here's the thing. Doug is a show. It was a part of the original 3 Nicktoons, the other 2 being Rugrats and Ren and Stimpy. So from a historical perspective, Doug is a good show. And the theme song slaps. That still holds up as like a really good theme song. And it's
questions.
Got no other redeeming qualities.
Doug was for Disney, but I've seen some places it was for Nickelodeon. So did it like jump ship? It
did. In the 90s, it was because it premiered in 1991 for Nickelodeon. And I think when it went off the air and like it wasn't running in syndication anymore, I think Disney like picked it up and renewed it and like started making new episodes. So that's why it's called like Disney's Doug.
Okay, because I'm not crazy. I was like, I swore it was for Nickelodeon, and now it's
Momo. Who was black on Doug?
Patty, and Skeeter. Patty and Skeeter were black.
And going back and watching that show and seeing Skeeter, I know that Skeeter is like a infamously black coded character. I truly do not see it. I really do not. If we're going off of solely like how I feel like when people were saying like, oh, Skeeter's black coded, I feel like Jim Jenkins was like, yeah, he is black coded. That man did not seek out to make that boy black. I'm sorry. Patty is, yes, but
what Skeeter, is more surprising is people will fight me that Patty is not black, and I'm just like, do you have eyes?
Look at her. When people can be like blue and purple and shit, and Muriel Patty is brown?
Using brown colors, and you're like, no, Muriel isn't black. Patty also using obviously brown. Okay, I see you, Momo. You just really hate on Muriel.
Okay. Like, I'm not gonna win for Courage the Cowardly Dog, so I'm not gonna try.
Momo trying to get canceled in the chat again. I'm sick.
I'm just saying, Bobby, you do have your last save, and we have 2 more shows.
I'm not saving Doug.
All right.
It's just not a good enough show for me to save.
Rocket Power is a really good show.
It's a very good show. Like, I'm not gonna fight you on this. I'm not saving Doug. Are you kidding me?
The next two shows we have. Well, if we're gonna eliminate Doug, bye Doug. Do I have a send off for Doug? No, I don't.
I figured
I don't. I don't have a save for Doug.
These last couple, you're just like, well, bye.
Okay.
See ya.
Oh my gosh, where are you? There we are. So we pushed forward Rocket Power. Rocket Power was such a fucking good show.
Mm-hmm.
Ed and Eddie and Cat Dog are our final two for round one.
Oh my gosh, I have to save these two.
As you had a chance to save Doug, and you had a chance to save Johnny Bravo. If you want to bring Johnny Bravo back, you can.
I thought you were saying we had like two or three more like pairings, not like
literally two or three more shows. So if you want to bring back Johnny Bravo, you can bring Johnny Bravo back from the dead.
I'm gonna bring back Johnny Bravo because these last three, there have been nothing really of note.
I did like Doug though. It was like one of those. It was like the lo-fi equivalent of a TV show. Does that make sense?
It's very lo-fi.
Chat said, specifically Choco Dyke said, Doug is like the boring version of Arthur.
And that's saying a lot because Arthur is kind of a boring show.
Honestly, I thought Doug was just a very relaxed show. It was a very chill vibe. It was like As Told by Ginger, if As Told by Ginger was like less interesting. But it was very
considerably
chill.
So.
It was a very relaxed show.
Well, he's just like a little white boy who goes about his day, and then he ends every episode writing in a journal. It really is like As Told by Ginger.
It's As Told by Ginger if it was less interesting. But I'm saying that it was it was a good show. Like, I mean, I like lo-fi music, so I would like a lo-fi TV show.
It's so lightly drawn too. They weren't using thick line animation in the least. They said, we're just going to go with a gingerly like line for this show. It's transparent.
Bobby,
it was a slice of life.
About how you weren't fighting for your life in the chat.
Yeah.
Now you gotta fight for your life because don't disrespect Arthur, and also Arthur is black.
Now wait a minute. Now wait a minute. Okay, I'm not going back and forth on this one. I truly am not.
Do you see? Now to get actually back to the shows we're supposed to be voting on, Cat Dog versus Ed and Eddie. I don't like either of these shows.
I'm a little lukewarm on both. I will say I like the theme song to Cat Dog quite a bit. And apparently I learned that my mom didn't like me watching that show.
Really?
I guess because they were a cat and a dog joint. I don't know. I didn't really dig deep into why. I still watched it, so it couldn't have been that bad.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Cat Dog is literally just about a conjoined twin cat dog. And Ed and Eddie, I didn't watch it because the art style unsettled me, and also it just seemed like they were just really loud white boys, and I didn't vibe with it.
It is obnoxious, I will say.
Yeah,
like, it's really obnoxious.
Sort of obnoxious. Can we just push through Cat Dog? Cat Dog got through the first round.
Yeah, we could.
I would fight for Ed and Eddie.
Could we potentially eliminate both since we've saved two?
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't save anything.
I did. Yeah. Johnny Bravo.
Bobby brought back
I did a retroactive
Johnny Bravo.
Save.
Yes.
Okay. They're both down.
Let's see. All right.
Out the door. Sorry, Ed and Eddie. It was a fine show, I guess.
I didn't like either of them. Did I have anything special written down?
Over Ed and Eddie, I guess. Jesus Christ.
It's an okay
Double D
show.
With my whole chest, and I also loved Marie Canker. They were my bisexual. They were my I want them both. I'm gay.
I didn't have anything written down specially for Ed and Eddie. Other than it did go from 1999 to 2009. That's a really good run for a TV series. A spectacular run, actually. And Cat Dog went from 1998 to 2005.
That's longer than I thought it. Wow.
Yeah,
That is
right?
way longer than I thought it ran.
And the title characters were originally supposed to be a two-headed superhero called Cat Dog Man.
Okay. And
The
I
more
was
you know.
adding on top of that,
Mhm.
the creator of the show,
Mhm.
at least for the theme song, he did the he
Mhm.
recorded it, and then they
Yeah.
sent the tape, because it was the 90s. They sent the tape like all around Nickelodeon. It almost like went viral within the company. And so when he like pitched the show, it was almost like the theme song kind of helped to
That's funny.
cinch the show. It's really good. It's a
Yeah.
really good theme song.
I think last time we are going to take like a 2 to 3 minute long intermission to like get water / food before round 2. So if you want to stick around for another like couple minutes, we'll be back. We'll have round 2 ready. And yeah. So just give us like 2 minutes. We're going to be back soon. Okay, catch you later. Hello, and we are back with round 2 of TV Tournament 90s cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you're ready for this.
Excited to move into round 2.
Round 2, Bobbi and I don't know what's coming next. It could be a show we love. It could be a show we just were like, about. But for right now, we have Recess versus Pepper Ann. These are 2 shows I actually do love dearly.
I'm leaving this one in your hands. My vote is indeed for Recess, but for female representation, I think Pepper Ann is very worthy, but I don't know if it's better than.
I do agree with you to a point. Like, I agree.
Okay.
Like, even that Pepper Ann has honestly such a banging theme song. The theme song still slaps. I just listened to it this morning. It's really good. And it's also the first Disney show to be created by a woman, which means a lot. But Recess had Miss Grokey, or is that how you say her name? I've always said Grokey. It might be wrong.
I think it's Grokey. Is because it's spelled like Grotke. So it's
I
not
think it's
like
Grokey.
Yeah,
Grokey. Grokey. But then they also have Gretchen and Spinelli. Oh, God, fine.
And the Ashleys. I am a sucker for like a hyper feminine like aesthetic, and those little 4th graders really had it.
They were really bringing it.
Coordinated outfits, a secret lair
on the playground. I also loved the ideas. Like, it was a very deep show if you think about it. They also had the kindergartners be like these like lawless like
rabid animals. Which makes sense, because have you met a kindergartner? They're not civil.
Oh wait, which are we thinking of the kindergartners from Codename Kids Next Door?
No, the kindergartners in Recess were also rabid.
I don't remember.
They were literally feral. It might be a little racially charged how they were depicted.
Because I know like both shows had like kindergartners that lived in like the jungle gyms.
Yeah, I think they're just kind of sharing the same motif that kindergartners are unhinged.
Yeah.
But they would wear like little like face paint and stuff, so that was
that's racially charged, actually.
Yeah, that's very.
When I think about it, that's racially charged. Oh no! When I think about it now, that's so bad.
They literally had tribal.
It's not
It was
fun.
very racially charged.
Then which one is it? Yeah. Hold on. I'm like Kids Next Door kindergartners. Kindergartners. I think they both had the same idea.
I wouldn't be surprised by that, honestly. Just with, like,
oh my God.
When you think of if you have to assign like archetypes, like that's not shocking to me. How they depict it is troubling, but
yeah, that is racist. That's racist.
Taking a slight pivot, I remember from the Recess movie. I think it was the Recess movie or like an episode where they sang John Jacob
Jingleheimer Schmidt, his name is my name. I remember that specifically.
They came in with the banger, let me tell you.
They did.
One.
They also had the Kumbaya episode. Like, Kumbaya, my lord. They had that. They had King Bob, who was for some reason a 6th grader at an elementary school, ?
Oh, damn. He was held back, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how that worked.
Maybe it was one of those like because like back in the day, like they had elementary schools that went up to like 7th grade, or like high schools like started in 6th grade or whatever. So it might be one of those things.
Yeah. And if we unpack it, that's how they depicted kindergartners as like lawless individuals and like had them dressed up as like an indigenous garb. That was racist.
It was racist.
And we just completely like accepted it because like obviously this was for kids and it was supposed to be like a semi-educational show. So even when they hit some places like talking about Miss Grokey was one of those teachers that was just like, and remember the pilgrims were not nice. They actually like murdered the Native Americans. But like that was like an offhanded thing. Like you can't make commentary like that and then also depict like the indigenous people, well, not indigenous people, but like children in indigenous garb as like lawless people that like didn't listen or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you unpack that, that was not okay.
It's
Not
icky.
okay.
It's an icky feeling. It is a truly icky feeling.
And Pepper Ann, if you remember, Pepper Ann actually had a younger sibling.
Really?
And
I don't think I watched a lot of Pepper Ann.
I think she went by Moose, but her whole thing was that she was a tomboy and she had a very deep voice. I'm saying, did they queer code her sister?
Did they?
I think they did.
Okay.
Like when I was looking at it, I'm just like, oh, this is just like obviously like a gender non-conforming kid. But also, if you looked at Pepper Ann, I could see all of her friends being bi.
Pepper Ann looks bi or lesbian.
Her mom's a lesbian for sure.
It's a very queer show. It's a very queer show.
It's a very queer show if you just look at it. Like, look at Milo and tell me Milo is not bi. You
Probably,
can't.
Yeah.
Milo is bi.
I get the vibe. This one isn't necessarily like hard for me as it's like I don't have enough emotional stakes in like either of them to be like hurt if one doesn't go through. You know what I mean?
I think I would give my vote to Recess if I had to.
Yeah. Recess is just a show that I'm a lot more familiar with. But now that Pepper Ann is on Disney Plus, I can make up for lost time.
Yes, you can. Fun fact, Pepper Ann, with the send-off, Tom Warburton, who created The Kids Next Door, was the lead character designer for Pepper Ann.
That makes sense because if you look at the character designs for both shows, they are very like similar.
Very similar.
Like the rounded, just like edges and whatnot. Very similar.
How do we do that? Hold on. Okay. Hey Arnold versus the Magic School Bus.
Oh, this is easy. At least for me.
This
is very easy.
I mean,
we have to deliberate this, Momo. Seriously.
Chaco, Milo is definitely they, them, and bi. Let's see. I'm just saying that I loved both of these shows. I did watch The Magic School Bus more than I watched Hey Arnold.
I don't know because like Magic School Bus is so like it's a very like concrete educational show, which doesn't mean that it can't be like good beyond that, but like against Hey Arnold,
I read the Magic Schoolhouse books too. Like I purchased the books and read them for fun.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Now I'm dealing with
I was a STEM kid. I was a STEM kid. All right, the great and powerful Oz. Yes, I'm a nerd.
Here's the thing. Here's what we're up against with me and Hey Arnold. Oh my gosh. I own the Hey Arnold vinyl.
There's a vinyl?
I love this show. Yes, I went through hell and back to get this because when it dropped, it's from Enjoy the Ride Records, and the day that it dropped was the day that I was going to get my first COVID shot, and so I thought, oh, I had two of them in my cart because I was buying two, one for me and one for as a gift, and I had them in my cart when they were like $23, and then when I came back, those heifers were sold out, and so. Yes, immediately. Like, and this was like a reprint of them. So they are repressed. So they weren't going to like make them again. And so I ended up having to shill out like $100 on eBay to get two of them because they had like gone up in price. Like they were like it was insane. So
that's insane.
I'm going to go the extra mile.
I'll concede. You. Hey Arnold.
Chat also voted for Hey Arnold, so you would have had to fight tooth and nail.
I prefer chat being on my side. Like, prefer that.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I'm glad I could break up my record to prove my love.
I like how you had that on hand. Like it was ready. It was prepped and ready.
It was right there. Like I don't. And the thing is, I don't own a record player. Hold on, there's my food. I need to get my food. I'll be back.
Okay, Bobbi is going to be gone for a second, so I will be listening to any questions, thoughts, and feelings until Bobbi comes back. I guess I could read some of the facts if I wrote them down.
I just want to know what other cartoon characters you thought were black, because this is apparently an extensive list.
I didn't, the thing is, it's not that I thought they were black, they just were black. They just were. Like, half of the people from Osmosis Jones, like, they're black.
That was a black neighborhood. Also,
except for Drix, who is obviously white.
Yes, but also
the
end of the music at the end of the show.
That was racially charged. Racially charged.
Yeah.
If you don't know, the end theme song for Ozzy and Drix, the spinoff of Osmosis Jones, the theme song at the end is called "With the Cells in the Hood." I don't know who greenlit that at Kids WB. Not a great idea.
I will say, each decade kind of has a music genre that they just really go ham for. And I have to say, that was the time of hip hop in animation. In the way that One Piece's Kids WB was, that shit slapped so hard out of nowhere. Like, that if that shit dropped today, I would lose my mind.
I think
I have to accept that, yes, it's pretty racially charged, but also all of it was. You can't tell me that someone took One Piece, a Japanese animation show about pirates, and said, give me the hottest hip-hop track of this decade. Like, that was just the time, because, like, it's like...
The thing is, I have no idea what you're talking about. I have not seen One Piece.
That is the way...
No idea what you're talking about.
Momo, the way you truly are trying to end our friendship. And, like...
It's not ending the friendship. I just don't have different interests.
Just say that, Momo.
We have different interests.
Through this ringer. Every day, every moment. I was trying to connect to you.
I just don't know what you're talking about.
You as a man, and you just gave me nothing in return.
Taco.
I'm not saying One Piece is a good show. I'm saying that
it's
intro
really funny.
was some other stuff. That intro.
Is it like, did they change the dubbed intro? Because I think I watched it in Japanese.
Yeah,
and maybe that's why I don't know what you're talking about. I saw like the first 3 episodes in Japanese.
Literally, it's just a rap song. They just made an entire new rap song.
Oh, that's why.
And I was just like, that's just the way it was in that time. It's just the way it was.
A very good anime that has like a lot of hip hop vibes is Samurai Champloo, or Samurai Champloo. It's so good. It's from like the early 2000s. You can find it on Crunchyroll. Amazing. 10 out of 10. Okay, back to the show.
I'm back.
Batman the Animated Series versus Rugrats.
Oh no.
I'm gonna upset a lot of people, but I have to come clean.
Okay. Speak your truth.
Like, this is the whole like Family Guy audio. It's like, now that we're all about to die, I feel there's something I have to share with you. I did not care for Batman.
You know
like
what?
not the show. I mean, like the character himself. Like, I just don't care for him.
You know what? Here's the thing. I'm going to speak my truth. Between these two, my heart is with Rugrats. It really is. But Batman the Animated Series gave us Harley Quinn, a character that means so much to me. And also, it gave us Mark Hamill's Joker, which is the best iteration of the Joker, in my opinion.
I agree.
Is it better than Rugrats? The answer is simply no.
No. I'm so sorry. No. There are so many like actual like cartoon blogs that would drag us through the mud for saying this, but Batman the Animated Series is just not better than Rugrats. It just isn't.
The only thing that really sticks with me about Batman the Animated Series is how they really thought having people smile for the rest of their days was not scarier than death. They're like, you can't kill nobody, but you can you can do biological warfare, and that's fine. And I was like, y'all really thought those thoughts and put them into practice.
Yes. Something I did want to share about Rugrats now that it is on the screen. I did write this down as a fun fact. They won a bunch of awards, like over 20 awards for their 13-year run. And it was Nickelodeon's longest running cartoon until SpongeBob SquarePants had their 173rd episode in 2012. Also, the episode Toy Palace features Daleks of the Doctor Who franchise.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Fun fact.
And some additional fun facts. Craig Bartlett, creator of Hey Arnold, worked on the first couple seasons of Rugrats, and he only left the show because Hey Arnold got picked up. Cool. That and Batman the Animated Series, this fact is a little loosey-goosey, so if it's not right, then I didn't say this. But but apparently for the backgrounds of the show, rather than animating on like a white or like a light background, they apparently like did almost like they worked with like negative space, so they use like dark paper. So that's why the show inherently is just, it feels dimmer and like darker. It's because they like animated on like a darker background.
Cool. I actually really love that. But I am
with that being said,
it is ultimately going to be eliminated because we can't eliminate like fucking Rugrats.
We can't.
But the send-off, the eulogy for Batman the Animated Series, congratulations for making it to round 2. Some fun facts. It is the origin of the DC animated universe. So it started with Batman the Animated Series. Ran from 1992 to 1995. The show won 4 Emmys. And yes, it is widely recognized as one of the best animated television shows ever. Quote from Wikipedia, it has been praised for its sophistication, mature tone, complex story, and faithfulness to the source material. So congratulations, Batman. You will not be making it to round 2.
You are no longer in the running. They are still a good show.
Still a good show. What's next? What is next for us? The Animaniacs versus the Wild Thornberries. I feel like, Bobby, this might be easy for you. Yeah, it's easy for me, but it's probably harder for you.
No, I mean, here's the thing. I like the Wild Thornberries. It's a Klasky Chupo classic. However, the Animaniacs is one of the best written comedies, animated or live action, period. Period. It's a fantastic show. So while I like the Wild Thornberries movie more than I like the whole show. So I'm going with Animaniacs.
Bobby, I'm going to break your heart right now.
Momo.
I'm going to break your heart and say that I have seen quite literally every episode of the Wild Thornberries. So we are going to have to deliberate this. We're going to have to crack out the like criteria and go through this.
From
theme song to vibes.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry. But also not sorry because this show was great, and I won't let it lose to the Animaniacs without a fight.
Choco wants to know why you like the movie better.
Oh. So, I will say, The Wild Thornberrys is the first movie that I remember seeing in theaters. So I have a lot of sentimental value connected to it. Also, it's a very like big like father-daughter film, and the song in it, I think it's like Father and Daughter by Paul Simon, is like one of my favorite songs ever because of the movie. I just think it's like a really good story about Eliza. Like, she's always been in the wilderness her entire life, and so like putting her in such a starkly different environment was, and I mean, she eventually like makes it back to the wilderness, but kind of having that dichotomy of going into what would be like deemed as the normal thing for her to be doing at her age, it's just really good. I really like the movie. So yeah, that's why I think it's a great film. Excellent. Even I think it's on Amazon Prime too, and I might watch that tonight. Honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I love that. Oh, Black Wild Thornberrys would be so good. Let's see. Starting with the theme song, the Wild Thornberrys. I'm gonna be honest.
Cleared it.
I don't remember either of their theme songs.
Wow. You said. Didn't you just say you've seen almost every single episode?
I know. I literally remember the intro, as in like her explaining how she got her powers.
That's the.
But I don't remember the theme song.
It's like the Avatar theme song. It's her.
Oh, talking. Okay. I'm just like, I don't remember them having like a jingle or anything. I remember the intro. So it's they like didn't.
World Beats is the instrumental. You know, like on like
definitely like stock music, like free stock music.
Like when they say like, you know, on like radios where there's just like world music. That's what the intro sounds like the backing track.
I will let the slanders like slide because it is true. I don't. Does the Animaniacs have one?
Does the Animaniacs have one? Yes.
I don't remember it. Would you like to sing
so
it, Bobbi?
I'm not gonna sing it. Okay. Should I sing? It's like, it's time for Animaniacs, and we're zany to the max. So just sit back and relax. You'll have to. It's a long theme song, so I'm not gonna sing the whole thing. But it's like it's zany, it's creative, a bit manic, I would say. But it's a good setup for the show, which is what a theme song should be. I feel like it's one of the most iconic theme songs.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far.
No, I would say. I would
agree. It's iconic.
Thank you, Hi Ho.
Also,
I would give the Wild Thornberrys a theme song a 3. I have to give the Animaniacs like a 3 as well because I don't remember it.
You can't give either of them. You didn't remember either of them. And you watched the
I remembered
every episode.
I remember that the Wild Thornberrys had like the whole like monologue, but it didn't have like an actual song. I didn't remember a single word of the Animaniacs. I couldn't even hum the beat.
I'm giving it a 4.
Okay,
I will compromise on a 4. In my head, it's a 5.
Powers to make sure it gets that.
So 4.
It's gotta get the 4. It's such a good theme song. You need to go back, listen to the theme song. Also, the show is full of just really good songs in general.
It does have really good songs. I do remember that.
The President's song helped me to graduate college. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not joking.
Okay.
I don't know what that says about me, but it did.
Okay. Cultural impact.
I still say Animaniacs kind of clears it. I'm so sorry.
I do want to say, yeah, it does technically have more of a cultural impact because they did have like a reboot recently, whereas the Wild Thornberrys hasn't. But
Choco says you're being anti-black to the Animaniacs.
There were no black people.
The Animaniacs are the black Momo.
Okay. I have like messed up as a child has messed up many a black coding. However, the Animaniacs are not black. Do you see all the shit they get away with? They're
man-
not black.
No, they're not black. I promise you, they're not black. And they're also like, they're technically like the Warner brothers and the Warner sister. You think they were black?
Ooh,
I want them to be black. I want those.
Yeah.
I want that for my people, but I gotta be realistic. I gotta be realistic.
Yeah.
They're not black.
I guess like Animaniacs, a 4 since they did have a comeback.
They also were a topical show, so they were part of the cultural zeitgeist. That was
and it was a show that like not just kids watch, but adults like would have like
adults did watch it. It was praised for that. In my research,
it
was praised for appealing to adults as well. But when I mean cultural impact, I don't mean the culture of the time. I mean now as well. So does it mean something now?
Yeah, over Wild Thornberrys, absolutely.
Over Wild Thornberrys, yeah.
How many people know, even though it's slightly outdated, the countries based on the country song alone?
Not me.
The United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama. Wow. Momo.
Not me. I'm not good at geography. I'm not good at geography.
I will have to say a lot of Momo's skills, geography, math,
is not one of them.
Spelling.
Not one of them.
Art
So like
also
the Animaniacs were not there for me in that. They were not there for me.
Maybe you should have sought out to them. Maybe they could have helped you out with some of the songs.
Maybe.
It's also never too late, too.
It's never too late, especially since I do have HBO Max, so I can. Actually, I don't have HBO Max. I
think it's on Hulu.
Animaniacs is on Hulu. It's a Hulu exclusive. They have a whole number about it.
Are you sure? I thought it was on HBO Max.
The reboot is on Hulu.
It has an entire number about Hulu and capitalism.
Whoops. Definitely thought it was on HBO Max. I think I saw the H and stopped reading.
Momo, the fact
you said, that's enough.
That you're bad at geography, and we know from history you're bad at spelling. You can't say things like you stopped reading.
I stopped. I saw the H and I was just like, that's all. That's all I got to do.
That's all, folks. Oh,
all.
Good Lord have mercy.
So I guess I'll never see it. I don't have Hulu.
I don't feel like you are making a good enough argument for Wild Thornberrys at this point.
I'm saying for concept, like originality and vibes, they get a 5.
Momo,
okay, yeah, but there are 3 other categories.
Momo, I love you.
Yeah.
I just really want to pause, and you're telling me this show about a bunch of white people going around in nature with this fucking Dobby the Elf knockoff primal child has good vibes.
I'm saying the vibes of the
it's a very lo-fi show, I will say. They had great vibes. The Animaniacs, I'm a very lo-fi person. They were just a little bit too high energy for me. They're Animani, totally insane. It's in the theme song.
It's in the theme song. I know that. I know that part. I actually do know that part. There was the zany part. I do love the word zany. They just weren't my vibe. My vibe was more like this.
But Darwin was definitely a black-coated monkey. So
was he?
Was he?
Darwin was like, you know that motherfucker, the butler from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Jeffrey?
He was like the Jeffrey, and there's something about that as a child. I was like, this don't sit right in the spirit.
I don't know.
I did not see that.
I didn't catch on to that one at all. I was like, this is just a white man monkey, British white man monkey.
Yeah. I mean,
it didn't sit in the spirit.
I do think that the Wild Thornberrys, if you gave me a choice, I would never pick the Animaniacs over the Wild Thornberrys because I felt like a connection with the Wild Thornberrys. I vibed with Eliza. I did not vibe with any of the Animaniacs. I think they were just too high
I don't
energy.
think you're supposed to. I'm not over here like, oh, I think I'm Yakko or whatever. Like, no.
I just didn't vibe with the show. Like, I understood that it had relevance to other people. For me, it didn't vibe with me. So I was going to say I couldn't just let the Wild Thornberrys, I couldn't just let it go, you know?
I get that. I just don't see a scenario where the Wild Thornberries goes over the Animaniacs for me.
For you, obviously, no.
Well, okay, and the chat also, you're on an island by yourself right now, I think.
Listen, for originality and vibes, it gets a 5. I think Animaniacs is kind of unfair for voice acting, considering that I think they had like a bunch of celebrities guest star.
Not really though.
Mochi says the fingerprints Prince episode
joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
They did a lot of celebrity parodies, but they didn't have a lot of celebrities. It was very much like a voice actor's show.
Where is it?
Rob Paulson, Tress MacNeille, Jess Harnell.
They won a shit ton of Emmys and Annies.
Because it's a what? Good show.
It's a good, we also eliminated Batman. That won a lot of awards as well.
It did, but I mean, like, whatever resonated, more.
Right. The Wild Thornberries resonated with me. Animaniacs, not so much. But because Bobbi is here, I will let you have the Animaniacs.
Thank you so much. Because I felt like in the last episode, I conceded quite a bit. So now it is your turn.
I'm at least glad it made it to the second round.
Because you're not really conceding since chat and myself were also just waiting for you to concede. But you can keep your pride. That's fine. We see what happened here.
We were just like, okay, we'll talk about it.
Okay, so we got the Powerpuff Girls versus...
This might be an easy one too, depending.
Well, I mean, the Powerpuff Girls, unless it's up against a very good one, it has my vote, honestly. The Powerpuff Girls.
Oh. Over SpongeBob.
The Powerpuff Girls over SpongeBob, for sure. I'm just thinking about how many remakes we've got of the Powerpuff Girls and how important it is to culture.
If we're going off of that, SpongeBob has way more spin-offs and remakes. They have 2 or 3 spin-offs on the air right now.
Spin-offs are actual shows. I think the show is still going.
The show is still going, and they have Camp Coral, which is them as babies, and they have the Patrick Star Show.
Never heard of it.
That franchise, they will not let it die.
But we had the Powerpuff Girls. We had Powerpuff Girls. I think they made Powerpuff Girls Z, a Japanese anime version of the Powerpuff Girls. They had the reboot of the Powerpuff Girls. We have the Powerpuff Girls live action was not super good.
It's not even out yet. They had to redo the script.
Yeah, they had to redo it because it was not good. But there are so many iconic things that happened in the Powerpuff Girls, like the episode where they became teens. Amazing. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Are you serious? You didn't love that episode?
I know, I did. Here's the thing, though. Against SpongeBob, it's just yeah, it did all those things, but look at where SpongeBob is right now.
I know.
And all the reboots of Powerpuff Girls have been bad. None of them have been good.
We can't even speak the rest of us can't really speak for Camp Coral or the Patrick Star Show because I'd never even heard them before today. But I bet you knew about all the Powerpuff Girls shows I talked about.
Yeah, because they were all notoriously awful.
But you knew it.
I didn't know about a good chunk of the Powerpuff ones. I did know about the SpongeBob.
Never heard of it. I mean, the chat agrees. Never heard of this SpongeBob stuff. I will not let SpongeBob SquarePants win out against the Powerpuff Girls. No, absolutely not. The show, Nick needs to let SpongeBob go. Also, the creator of SpongeBob believes that as well. It should have ended after the first movie, but Nick said no. We're gonna milk that cow.
Also,
because it makes almost $1 billion in merchandise.
Yeah. Also,
they're not gonna let it go.
Yeah.
SpongeBob has this niche online comic where it's Cthulhu, Lovecraftian based, and Sandy and Squidward have a lot of sexual tension. I'm not gonna lie. but also
I'm horrified. I'm horrified.
The basic premise is it takes in like the science of it all. So you know how starfish can like regenerate. Basically, the
I don't like where this is going. I don't like where this is going.
That Krabby Patties are actually just starfish. It's Patrick. Like Patrick had an accident. Mr. Krabs took it and was doing some like devil shit, like just like slicing Krabby Patties, and then because Patrick Star ate an undercooked Krabby Patty, he connected with the memories of the one that's being like super sliced, and it becomes this entire horror Lovecraftian. Like it is fucking compelling.
I don't like this.
It is compelling. It's just so compelling, and I can't. It's so. The thing is, it's so in depth, even though it's. I can't even give the perfect synopsis. But I will say there comes a point where he tries to kill SpongeBob. SpongeBob comes back because he's a sea sponge, and you learn so many cool facts about.
I'm gonna
animals.
Be honest here. You're not selling me.
No, I was about to
You're
say
not selling me.
feeling
You're not selling me.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Powerpuff
Oh,
Girls does
Choco
not-
Kurt Nick sucks. I mean, like, Nick had its moment in the 90s.
Yeah, it did.
And it had it with, like, As Told by Ginger. But as soon as those early 2000s cartoons went off the air, they lost me.
When they pivoted to live action, that's when it went downhill.
Yeah, that's when they lost me.
I view SpongeBob
has the video games and the
that is
very
true. The video games
intense
are good.
internet content where I'm like, where is my Powerpuff Girls fan comic?
But when you think about it, and this is how I will get you on my side, when you think about it, if you were to show a straight white male and make him pick, what show do you think he's going to agree is better?
Well, don't do that to me. Because
I'm just saying. Which show do you think the straight white male is going to pick? And if you find yourself agreeing with a straight white male, are you making the right choice?
Now Momo, wait a damn minute. Because
are you?
You can. That is such a straw man. That's such a weak argument. You're like,
just said the entire chat is.
I'm just saying.
Momo,
like,
just saying.
First of all,
I'm just saying.
Also,
you are grasping at straws again.
I'm saying I'm not letting the Powerpuff Girls lose to SpongeBob SquarePants.
Like, I hate it for it, but I also have to be realistic here.
You say that, but am I wrong?
Mochi Prince, don't.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
First of all, you're the one who said Sandy Cheek was black, and so you're
I agree.
Okay.
You said it with so much conviction too. Like it was just such a universally known fact.
Am I wrong though?
Momo.
No, you are very wrong based off of her reaction. Like, what are you talking about?
The word was foul. You were called foul for that.
Yeah.
Momo.
No.
Beloved, please.
The Powerpuff. You're gonna let SpongeBob SquarePants beat the Powerpuff Girls?
I didn't play the Powerpuff Girls video game. Also, if we have to get to the nitty gritty, her an icon, but also, guys, come on, Antebellum, Miss Bellum, being the only black woman in that show, it was a lot.
Oh. Here we go again with the black. That was a black woman.
That was a white lady.
Literally tan and brown.
I feel now we reaching for straws yet again.
I agree that she is not black.
She is not.
Who's
black.
we? Who's we?
Miss Bellum?
No.
I'm looking this up.
No.
Nah.
Like, I'm saying the 90s was a time, but they weren't, like, dumb enough to have, like, Miss Bellum be a black lady serving a white man at his beck and call every moment. They weren't that dumb.
I mean, she was much more, she was smarter than the mayor in a lot of ways.
But she wasn't going to be served. They would never do that, at least in the 90s.
I don't know. It feels like that,
also,
like...
have you seen her face with her lips? Oh...
I haven't seen her face.
That's just a white woman with curly hair.
Listen,
Here we go again.
Okay.
The point still
We
stands,
gave
though.
Momo Sandy
Okay.
Cheeks being black and Miss Bellum.
I didn't give her
those
shit
lips.
with that. I
Okay,
didn't give
chat.
her shit.
Are you really going to let SpongeBob beat out like the Powerpuff Girls?
Yes.
Why are you asking chat when it's between you and me?
Because I will not let this happen. No.
Momo.
No.
Momo.
No.
Momo.
Momo, please.
Objectively,
it up.
from a storytelling
It hurts me too.
from a
However,
storytelling perspective, SpongeBob should have ended after the first movie. And I'm not going to take anything after it into account because no.
Mochi,
No.
you bring it
Even
up,
the first
cultural impact.
episode, the first season. Yes, thank you.
I'm saying for the girls.
Now, see, Momo, you messed yourself up. You went
For
to
the
the chat,
girls.
and see now the chat's not agreeing.
I'm
with you,
saying
so
for
now
the
what?
girls, the Powerpuff Girls are it. Just saying.
Listen,
Look
don't
at my
leave spies for
background.
the girl gang for
I
me.
can't.
Who is that?
Your background is this big. I can't see anything.
That is the Powerpuff Girls right there.
Yeah.
I love them too. However, SpongeBob is right there. I have to be realistic.
I am being realistic. I'm being realistic. And SpongeBob SquarePants, no. I would change the channel. If you put SpongeBob on, I would change the channel. So I'm not going to vote for it. But I guess if the chat and Bobby agree, then I will follow.
I just don't mean dick shit to you.
No, because you want to say that Sandy Cheeks is not black, but this obviously white lady is black. No.
Mama, I didn't even disagree with you being saying
Okay.
Cheeks is black, but you just keep making random characters to be black.
Listen, when I was a child, I saw Sandy Cheeks. I was like, brown? Obviously black. Got it.
Other than the fact that most squirrels are indeed brown, but there is that.
It made sense to me.
She's supposed to be.
Here's the thing: for the sake of moving the chat and this entire process along,
No, as the
I said fine for SpongeBob, but I just genuinely don't think it is a better show than the Powerpuff Girls.
Momo,
you should have saved your save. Should have saved your save.
I saved it on a good show that is actually still in the running. I believe. I think I used it on Recess, and it's still there.
Yeah, it is still there. I'm not disagreeing with you that the Powerpuff Girls is a very impactful show. I agree with you. But over SpongeBob, that is a show that is still socially relevant.
Impactful and objectively better, I would say Powerpuff Girls.
Girl, I'm so tired. Anyways, James.
You will never catch me saying
different things.
I'm never going to say that SpongeBob is a better show in any way to the Powerpuff Girls, so we can move on.
They're impactful for much different things. I feel like if we're viewing comedy versus action, which is what we were talking about yesterday, or not yesterday, but we talked about this at some point, but when you put a drama versus a comedy, someone's going to objectively think the drama is better, but comedies are a lot harder. And SpongeBob got
the
comedy
thing is,
right.
I didn't find SpongeBob funny. I can't say that the comedy was better. I didn't think it was funny.
Well, I wish I would have known, because I wouldn't have been wasting my breath going back and forth with you on that.
Well, you never brought up the comedy bit. I would have just said, "Oh yeah, I never found it funny."
Was I liking it for the animation style?
I don't know. Maybe.
Nah. So what goes through? Is it SpongeBob or is it
SpongeBob?
SpongeBob.
Okay.
Futurama versus Pokemon.
Oh my god.
I'm choosing Pokemon.
I'm choosing Pokemon. Okay. Oh, but I do have a fun fact about Pokemon. So, did you know? I'm sure everyone's got to know this. I didn't though. I did not know that Ash, Misty, and Brock are not actually their names. No. Whenever it came to the United States, they gave them American names, but their actual names from left to right. Misty's actual name is Kasumi. What is it? Wait, where did Can you put the Pokemon back so I can actually show them and say? Misty's name is Kasumi. Ash's name is Satoshi, and whose name is Brock's name is Takeshi. And the starter Pokemon are actually not Squirtle, Bulbasaur, and Charizard? Is that their names in English?
Charmander.
Yeah. Charmander. Thank you.
Yeah, Charizard's like the bigger version.
So where is that? I wrote it down. Oh, where are you? I wrote them down because they keep slipping in my mind. Okay. So Fushigirane is actually the name of Bulbasaur. Hitokage is the name of Charmander, and Zenigame is the name of Squirtle.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not know. I mean, there was no possible way that I could have known that because I do not speak Japanese. But that's cool.
I don't totally speak Japanese. I did learn it for a few years, and I lived there for a couple years. But when I was teaching in a Japanese school, I was talking to my teachers, and I was like, "Oh yeah, like I really like Pokemon. Like it was very popular in the States." And I said like Ash and Pikachu, and they looked at me like I had 6 heads, and I was so confused because I was like, "Those are like the names of like the main characters," and they're like, "That's not his name. Like, how do you not know that? How the hell was I supposed to know that the dubbed English version changed their names?"
First of all, I would just be like, all right, judgy. Like, how else am I supposed to know that?
Like, they just didn't know that they had changed their names when they translated it into English. They just thought they put subtitles.
Oh, I mean, well,
yeah.
They know American kids don't like reading.
I guess.
Momo literally admitting that she stopped reading after she saw the letter H.
Speed reading. Just, got it. Fill in the rest.
But you have it.
That's what I was about to say.
I filled it in wrong, but I did speed read it.
But for completion, Momo.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm tired.
I wasn't getting tested. I was just breezing through it.
Tired of the way.
Johnny Bravo and Rocket Power. Bobbi.
Oh. Yes.
Bobbi.
Yes.
I think we both know.
Do we?
I think you know how this is about to go.
Yeah, even though I use Johnny Bravo as my save, I think Johnny Bravo is a good show only because Johnny's like chauvinistic, like misogyny never was fruitful in the show. He was getting his ass beat left and right.
Yes.
So for that, I say, it's good. But Rocket Power, it's just a cooler show, cool. I would say.
I don't know why.
It was so cool.
I thought the whole time it took place in Hawaii. It definitely took place in California.
Yeah, it's probably like Laguna Beach or something.
Definitely California. The whole time, fully thought it was in Hawaii.
They look like transplants. Like they look like they could be like from Hawaii. So
yeah,
makes sense. But Rocket Power's got to go through. I mean, that was a show. I still want to dye my hair because of Reggie Rocket. Like, I want purple hair.
So you know what? You could pull it off. You totally could.
Oh my god, thank you. We'll see. I might just really crack up and lose it one day and just like say, fuck it, I'm just gonna dye my hair.
Honestly, if you didn't lose it today, I think your mental fortitude is so strong.
And for hi-ho, for the next for round 3, you can just like totally mix them up. They don't have to go in any sort of order.
Or you can wreak chaos like Amelia did the last time. Absolute chaos.
Wait, I think I fucked this up. I messed up. Oh no. Oh well. I'll figure it out later. Okay. Hey Arnold versus Recess.
Listen, I've been saving Recess in these last couple rounds. It's not going past Hey Arnold. I promise you it's not. We will be here all night if you disagree. But it's not.
I mean, like, I think like the tables have turned tabled because I felt the very same way about the Powerpuff Girls. So I do empathize with you. And I did really like Hey Arnold. But I also really liked Recess because I loved the Ashley's outfits and such. Like when push comes to shove, I will lean in the way of fashion. Obviously, the fashion in Recess is better.
Oh my god!
I promise we're gonna be here all night.
I know.
If that's how you want to do this.
I'm saying, like, I get where you're coming from because I get it and I agree.
Momo,
I think the culture.
I truly need to pause, and I just really needed to be stated that Powerpuff Girls versus SpongeBob is not the type of race that can be compared to Hey Arnold versus Recess.
Okay. I didn't get to finish. As I was saying, I really like the culture of Hey Arnold. Like I liked how it was like a neighborhood, and I never got that kind of experience where I grew up. So I lived kind of vicariously through like Arnold and his friends, Gerald and Helg and everyone. So I think it's like one of those lo-fi vibes I really vibed with. So I do agree with you with Hey Arnold here.
Oh, you want it to go through over Recess?
I do want it to go through over Recess.
As it should. I told you, I will bulldoze through this entire tournament for
it's really because of like the lo-fi vibes. Like it really vibed with me.
And the music is, once again, we circle back to my vinyl. The music of Hey Arnold is so
I feel like this is just really to show off your vinyl at the end of the day.
It is.
This whole thing has just been constructed so that Bobbi could tell everyone that she got the vinyl.
I fought tooth and nail for that fucking vinyl. So yeah, I'm gonna share it.
You know what? Vibes.
When once I get this record player, it's over.
Oh, hell.
Oh.
Rugrats versus Rocket Power? This is an impossible choice. This should have been like the final round.
I don't know. Because I like Rocket Power a lot. I do. Over Rugrats. And if we do our deliberation, Rugrats is gonna demolish it. So we might as well talk from just subjectivity only.
I think actually, oh yeah, cultural impact wise, it would totally win out. But diversity wise, it would crush the Rugrats. Absolutely.
There's some different types of diversity though, because you had Susie, you had Kimmy, Kimmy
didn't come into like years down the line though, whereas Rocket Power had it from the very beginning.
Chucky had only his dad.
I think we came into this problem with As Told by Ginger, where there was different scales of diversity. So
but they also had black people.
they did.
And I want to say that Macy was like Filipino.
Yeah.
Filipino.
It's the same. Like, I don't know. Like, Tommy and Angelica are Jewish. Chucky,
it's true.
Single dad. His mom died. So orphan.
Phil and Lil definitely had a lesbian mom.
And like their mom is lesbian in the reboot. So good for her.
As she should have always been.
Susie comes from an affluent black family. Her dad is a producer. Her mom, I think, was a doctor or is a doctor.
Someone was Dr. Carmichael.
I think it's her mom.
Her mom? Okay.
And I don't know, like, as far as diversity goes, like, yeah, Rugrats, maybe like a bunch of little white children, but there's some layers there. Rocket Power, I will give it the diversity credit, like, Squid is the minority. I will give it that. However, when it comes to the other elements of the show, like storytelling and stuff, I don't think I can't give you a Rocket Power episode. I just remember really liking the show, but I can't give you an episode.
I remember the episode where, God, what's his name? Tito? Otto almost died.
I was about to say, that was the Weekenders.
Yeah. Otto almost died when he was swimming with the sea turtle, because that was traumatizing. That was traumatizing.
I can't.
And I remember the woogity.
Oh yeah, like Shoobies.
I just remember like the culture, like the friendship. They had the same like kind of friendship dynamic that I liked in the Weekenders, where everyone kind of had like a different background and they had different, very bright personalities, and they would hang out like all the time on the weekends. I really vibed with that. For Rugrats, they did kind of have like not the same kind of vibe, because they were obviously like toddlers.
Mm-hmm.
But there was like an obvious antagonist in like the Rugrats, whereas like the Weekend shows like the Weekenders and the Rocket Power didn't have that, because I sometimes don't feel like there needs to be a bad guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and funnily enough about Rugrats is there were three. I think a lot of people like only think it's like Klasky and Chupo, Arlene Klasky and Gabor Chupo, who created the show. But there was a third creator, Paul Germain, who did. I think he did Recess. Like he did a bunch of the like one Saturday morning like Disney shows.
Yeah, I think that the creators of Rugrats also did. What did they also do? Did they also do Rocket Power? Let me double check that.
It kind of looks Klasky Chupo.
Yeah, it was the same creators.
That makes sense.
The same people.
Klasky Chupo, they had Nickelodeon in a chokehold in the 90s.
Oh, hell yeah, they did.
They got to the money. But they there was contention between Arlene Klasky and Paul Germain over Angelica.
Oh,
Arlene did not want Angelica like in the show because she was like, she's a bully. I don't want bullies in my show.
Mm-hmm.
And Paul Germain was like, well, they're like, kids have conflict. There are sometimes like they have bullies. Like we should have a bully in the show. And so that kind of
I actually agree with
between them.
I agree with who said they didn't want Angelica?
Arlene.
I actually agree with Arlene because I don't think an antagonist is needed sometimes in these like children's shows, because it's very easy to just have a bully. It's harder to make a show that doesn't need one.
That is true. And also, like, how many, realistically, like, are babies having, like, straight up bullies?
Exactly. Like, also, it's, like, she's the cousin of, like, 3 of the babies. And I don't know if you've had, like, good cousins, but, like, they don't just bully you. They don't do that. I've never...
No, cousins do bully.
Yeah,
like, I've never experienced that.
Siblings, they'll just fuck with you just because they can.
And like Angelica is a bully with like, she's a familial bully, so it's not that she's like wanting, like she's just a spoiled brat because she's like she's got the only child thing going, and like her mom buys her, like you can go into how Charlotte parents her kids, but I don't know. I'm kind of going back and forth. Either way,
Charlotte tried. Did she do a good job?
No.
No. But she did her best.
She did. And I think she wanted, and like Charlotte is very like gaslight gatekeep girl boss.
Absolutely.
And at least she wanted Angelica to have aspirations.
Also, she is the one who saved them from dying in that boat.
That is true. She was the one who was taking that heel and like beating that bitch and got him out of there. So,
but when we really look at it, they also put their literal babies in some of the world's most dangerous situations. And for what? For why?
They're not good parents.
They're not
I would say
they're not.
It's funny that like Dee Dee follows like the Lipschitz when she's just, I don't know, her and Stu, I won't say are not capable, but they're not, I wouldn't say they're capable.
Y'all remember when Tommy almost straight up murdered Dill?
I don't want my responsibility anymore. Just
that
gonna
was
take
so
a metal
funny.
And murk his little brother.
Almost killed him in like the middle of the jungle. And we were just like, oh yeah, that's like totally fine.
We were really
like,
supposed
wow,
to
drama.
That. He said, I don't want you as a little brother anymore, so you gone. Bye-bye.
It was one of those times where I was like, that's oddly realistic and kind of sad.
It's just like a little terrifying that he was a baby, like about to murder him. Not like a teen in like the angsty face, but like a straight up baby.
A child, an infant.
Well, that's the thing, because babies don't have the concept of death, so he really was like, it's fine.
He hadn't developed empathy yet, and he was really about to do it.
It was like one of the most realistic things where I'm like, yeah, sometimes kids accidentally just murk other kids. I mean, this one's more on purpose, but
that was very intentional. It was very intentional.
The chat, I mean, having siblings just be like that some days. That is true. I connect to Tommy in that.
I don't.
I don't want to.
I do not.
I didn't want to kill my brother, but I remember being like, because my brother and I are 7 years apart.
Wow.
So I do. I have a little brother. He's 15. He's in high school. Lord have mercy. But I remember when my parents told me that they were pregnant, with my little brother, I was like, oh no, this isn't gonna work. Like I want to be the only child. And I got really upset. And then when they told me that he was a boy, I was like, okay, this is fine, because then I'm the only girl. And so it was fine. I didn't murk my brother.
Yeah. I would have given anything for like siblings.
My mother.
I got siblings when I was older in life, but that didn't work out.
My mother literally looked at me and was like, "I waited till you're old enough so you can help take care of your brother." And to this day, I was like,
I didn't ask for that.
This is like, you don't have to tell me that.
I was like, pause, rewind, return to Blockbuster.
I didn't sign up for that.
And actually to this day I was like, listen, if I had it in me to have a child, I had it in me to do one. And my brother used up that one. I was like, never. That little boy, I swear to God, I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck was in his milk? What the fuck was in his like endocrine system? Because that boy could not be tamed. And I was like, nah. No. Never again.
And Bobbi, you have kind of swayed me to the way of Rugrats, because like I just remembered some of like the really great journeys we went on with Rugrats. And even though I thought that surfing and snowboarding and like skateboarding was so cool and I wanted to do it, like they just had a lot of rich stories in Rugrats. So I do have to agree with you on that.
I think the Rocket Power was solely a like because it came out in the late 90s and like extreme sports were all the rage. That is the only reason why we have Rocket Power. They were like, how do we take advantage of the X Games somehow? So they made Rocket Power, where all of them like skateboard and shit.
Sports anime, and I stand by that.
That is true. It is a
Yeah.
It's a sports anime.
It's a sports anime.
I'm screaming.
A good sports anime, a really good one.
It is. But, and the food in that show looked really good. I don't know. It's like it's like Weekenders caliber food. Like it doesn't have a lot of detail, but I don't know. I feel like I could fuck up like some chili fries from Rocket Power.
Oh hell yeah.
But sadly, it shan't make it to the next round.
Unfortunately. Great send off. Same creators as Rugrats. They did strike gold twice, in my opinion.
I mean, they struck gold like 4 or 5 times. There was like Klasky Csupo did a lot of Nickelodeon shows because they did Wild Thornberries. They did All Real Monsters.
All Real Monsters is a miss for me, but
okay, here we go. I'm not getting into this with you. I'm not.
There's a reason why it wasn't on the list.
Why?
Anyway.
Yeah. Your bias?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. I did. Okay, just so you know a little bit of the behind the scenes process. I come up with like the bones of the list and then I show it to Bobbi and I ask Bobbi, oh, is there anything like you want to add? And then I add those. But Bobbi, you did not say All Real Monsters, so I didn't add it.
I thought it was on there at some point, but I guess you're right.
Never on there.
I just like the theme song. That was kind of it because it was like creepy. It was gross, honestly. It's a gross.
I didn't like the grossness. It didn't vibe with me.
One of them's name was like Crumb or something like that. It's spelled with a K. I'm not dealing with that. That's gross. Yeah.
Oh, it was Animaniacs versus SpongeBob. Obviously, one of us is very attached to both of these shows, so that person will have to make the ultimate decision.
If it comes between SpongeBob and Animaniacs, objectivity truly does go out the door for me. And it is Animaniacs if it was up to me.
Okay, then Animaniacs.
You did not fight for it at all.
I didn't. Why was I going to fight for SpongeBob? I didn't like the show. I didn't like it.
It has a good place, and it is where it is, I suppose. But yeah. Are these the last two?
No.
Okay.
Are we still in round 3 or is this?
We're in the semifinals.
I don't know what that means. Okay.
There's 4 shows total.
Okay. So we are now down to, let me update my list. Hey Arnold, Rugrats, the Animaniacs, and Pokemon?
I guess so, yeah. And honestly, this is a good top 4. Like, I was happy with our top 4 in the last episode.
I think I was happier with the top 4 before. Like in the
I think you're just having some feelings about Powerpuff.
Oh no, it's just because I genuinely think that the 2000s cartoons are better than the 90s cartoons.
They are a little bit stronger.
I think if you were to put the top 4 into our mix of the previous, they would have really been fighting for like a top like 6 spot.
I think Hey Arnold and Animaniacs might have been the only ones that could have potentially pulled through.
I actually disagree. I think it would be Hey Arnold and Rugrats.
Well, that's great because Hey Arnold and Rugrats are going on it right
now. Man, these shows both have really great vibes.
They do, but I do love Hey Arnold more. I love Rugrats a lot, and I've gone back and revisited some of the like earlier seasons. Of the
have
show.
you? What about All Grown Up?
All Grown Up is great, but I count. Are we okay?
We are now taking their whole entire like catalog into account.
Okay.
The world of Hey Arnold is. These are both incredibly unique shows because they show microcosms in a way that no other show has like embarked upon since. Like Hey Arnold, where he lives in like a boarding house with multiple tenants, is not something I have seen before Hey Arnold nor after. And Rugrats, I haven't seen another intelligent take on actual children, like toddlers.
I agree.
Looney Tunes, Baby Tunes.
It's not that can't compete with Rugrats because that was like meant to be comedic, like, whereas Rugrats was meant to teach like life lessons to children.
And it's just like the infantilization of Looney Tunes. So that goes with like franchise fatigue, and I don't know. That's a whole different ballgame. Even though I did like Baby Looney Tunes, but I agree with you. I think I like Hey Arnold more. Because it is a show, and going back and watching certain episodes, Arnold is similar to Arthur in that he is the focal point of the show, but a lot of episodes tended to focus on other people, especially a character like Helga, which I think is a very nuanced character, like one of the most nuanced cartoon characters.
Really, I deeply agree. Because she had such a sad backstory.
She did. Like, her mother was like kind of suggested to be an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Her dad
suggested. I think she was blatantly an alcoholic.
She was an alcoholic. Her dad was awful. Probably, like, I would say narcissistic. They focused only on her older sister, who was like perfect.
Yeah.
And the only person or the only people that really cared about her was this like this is a really found family like show. And like, Momo, you're like the queen of found family. So let me know if
I
I'm
wouldn't
wrong.
say that. I don't know if we would call them a found family. Considering I wouldn't call them found family.
They didn't find each other. They just happen to live in the same areas. It's like a village setup.
Yeah. Like the only people that really cared about her, like the reason why she got so attached to Arnold is because he's the only one that like showed any kind of affection towards her. And she latched onto it and became obsessed.
Yeah.
Like literally obsessed. If you haven't seen the show or don't remember it in a while, she had like a shrine to him in her closet.
So I want to say Rugrats All Grown Up, I also did like it. I know a lot of people
loved it.
It was good. It's a good show. I don't get why people like shit on it.
Yes, Bobby. Mochi Prince is right. You should do an episode on your podcast about franchise fatigue.
Oh, I actually was planning on doing that. So Mochi Prince, we're right here. We're connected. But
question for you guys: did you know as a child that Arnold was wearing 2 shirts?
I did.
I think I thought he was wearing a skirt.
2014.
I just was completely confused with him wearing a skirt.
I remember like because the internet being what it is and like in the mid 2010s, everyone I don't know had weird opinions on cartoons. So I feel like I saw the discourse around like him wearing like a plaid shirt with like the sweater over it with like skinny jeans like very early on. So like any thoughts of that, of it being a skirt, was like out the window for me.
I wasn't even concerned about that. I was more concerned about his very tiny cap. Like that just didn't sit right with me. Like why the tiny cap?
To him. He's had it since he was a baby. It's the only thing that he has like from his parents.
Why was your head so small as a baby?
Well, look at his head now.
All babies have small heads.
No, but like that's comically small. I am assuming he had this shaped head as a baby.
I think the cap stayed in the middle. Like I think it was just this setup, but smaller, like less wide football head.
Okay, because I'm just thinking of his head fitting under the cap, and I'm just like, that doesn't look right.
No, it never fit. No, it was made to sit between the two, like the parting of his hair. That was what the cap was made for.
It just doesn't sit well with me. But you know what? I still liked Arnold. If you compare shows that centered just average white guys, obviously, like if I'm saying Doug versus Arnold, and Doug is just a lot more bland. Arnold was don't cancel me. Arnold was spicy white.
Oh my gosh. I will clip this myself. I will go back and clip this myself so I can cancel you on TikTok. But Momo is using spicy white.
I'm joking. Obviously, I'm joking. I am joking.
Are you?
I am joking. Because, like, Arnold was a lot of things, but he was swagless.
I don't know. Arnold just, like, I will say, you know, because this is a safe space, Arnold was like one of my first cartoon crushes. Because he was
Bobby.
He was just so like cool. Like he was so chill and cool, and like he was, and also he was very willing to help.
He had a great room.
I want that room now as like a full-grown adult. Like it's a really good
like
room.
The way I would kill for that room. It was massive. He had like a skylight. Oh,
his bed, like his couch, like went into the wall. Like for a 90s like made room. Like it was fucking sick.
Yeah. You know what? Arnold, you get to go on to the finals. Like
the finals. I feel like it's gonna be Arnold against like Pokemon or something, and like, once again, I'm bulldozing Hey Arnold all the way through. I'm pulling for it.
Rugrats was a semi-finalist. We got to give it to them,
and I think it was a worthy semi-finalist.
It was
too. If they didn't go up against each other, they would have definitely probably been in the finals together.
And no, it's not Hey Arnold versus the Animaniacs. It's Pokemon versus the Animaniacs.
Oh.
I think.
It is Pokemon versus the Animaniacs. Please hold.
Yeah. Bobby.
I don't. This hurts me. This hurts me.
Listen to reason.
Okay, I'm listening.
I think we all know that the Animaniacs is not better than Pokemon. Like, we all know. Because if you were to show a random person on the street these two shows, they would know probably all the characters of Pokemon and struggle to name the characters of the Animaniacs.
Are you going off the show? Like, the 90s show, or are you going off the Pokemon franchise?
If we're going off of, are we gonna take their whole like repertoire into account, or just the shows?
I don't know if the 1001 iterations of it is going to help or hurt its cause. Like it doesn't. Like, they were all the same. Like they're the same. It's the same premise of the show. It's a game.
Still, if we just like eliminate everything else, it's still going to be difficult because things came off of the Animaniacs that you'd want to talk about. Things came out of Pokemon that you'd want to talk about. But if you even just bring it down to like the basics, like strip it down to the basics, I think everyone is at least familiar with the opening of Pokemon.
Well, yeah. This one's hard because it's like it's very much they're really great in two very different ways. It's like it's similar to SpongeBob and the Powerpuff Girls for being really, really good for very different things. Like Pokemon has international appeal, obviously. And it's like it's not a American show. It's an export that like blew up over here. Whereas the Animaniacs is a very like it's almost like it's like a WandaVision or a La La Land. It's a show about Hollywood. It's like very self-referential in that. So that's it almost depends on like what's your flavor in that. And for me
Like,
personally, it's Animaniacs, but I can acknowledge that Pokemon is a lot like it's got a lot more like broader appeal.
I think it's also harder to really bring like say, oh, like yeah, the Animaniacs is it's really commenting on Hollywood, but it's referencing a lot of very old things in Hollywood, at least the original series. And does that hold up now? I think a lot of
so.
I'm just saying like a lot of people that were kids when a lot of the things that they're referencing were happening are adults and probably wouldn't super get it, or the kids that are kids now, if they were to watch the original Animaniacs, they wouldn't get the references. But if a kid were to watch like this old Pokemon, they would get it.
That is true. But I guess Pokemon benefits because there's a gamified aspect to it. Like you can collect the cards and like you could literally do what's in the show other than like of course you don't have access to the like actual monsters themselves, but like there's
technically you do.
Well, you got a Pikachu lying around?
I actually have a Bulbasaur lying around.
Like a real one, Momo.
I mean a stuffed one.
No, because if that's the case, I have Psyduck on my wall. Does that mean I have Psyduck?
My Bulbasaur's right there. I don't know if you can see him. Can you see it?
Oh my gosh. No, I cannot.
Aw, it's really sad. It's really tiny, but he's right there.
I mean, like a Pokeball that you could like a monster comes out of it, a physical one.
I'm sure they sell toys like that, but I don't personally own one.
My question is though,
Momo, you know what I'm trying to say.
I feel like the Pokemon show is very separate from the Pokemon game in a way because Ash isn't like, or whatever his real fucking name isn't like really in
Satoshi.
Is like in the other games. Like when we think about Pokemon Go, Ash, Jesse and James, but they didn't come out till 2020.
What?
Jesse and James weren't in Pokemon Go until
okay.
Year. So part of me is like, how much of this culture impact is the show and how much is the game?
That's what makes it a little bit difficult because I'm like, are we basing, like, if you strip, we almost can't look at Pokemon as a franchise because there are aspects beyond the show that go with it, which is a whole physical like game piece. Which
I'm just saying, like, if you even strip down all the other things and you don't include the franchise, the games or anything, if you were to show this to like the average person or the kid right now, like let's say an average kid, because these are targeted at kids. If you were to show the original Animaniacs to like a 10-year-old now, they probably wouldn't get the references because they were referencing things that happened like years ago before they were even born.
That is true.
Where if you showed them like the Pokemon, they could follow along with the story.
But also Animaniacs does have the reboot now that did modernize it.
But if we're talking about like the original shows,
then it does have but it doesn't hold up. It's not a show built solely on references though, because there are a lot of moments in the show that don't, like, they're not connected to Hollywood. They're just like zany animated cartoon characters. So that does have appeal too. That's like a timeless appeal. So they're both timeless in different ways. This one's
also,
I go back and forth.
Just to be clear, the game came before the show. The show is a product of the game.
It's hard because I do agree with you. If you do show
Yeah.
the show divorced of the game and the other aspects of the world with it, if you just show a kind of action style show to like a 10-year-old, they're probably going to have more that's going to be more appealing to them than like a zany like animated show. But I don't know if that necessarily means that it's just so much better if a 10-year-old likes it. You know what I mean?
Also, Mochi says that as much as they do love Pokemon, if they go based on the show, they feel like it can get pretty formulaic at times, especially the later seasons.
Yeah, but this series, which is the Indigo League, only lasted from 1997 to 1999.
It was only 2 years?
Yeah, they had like a bunch of other spin-offs, but this one that everyone like references, like, oh, the Pokemon with the intro, like, I want to be the very best that no one ever wants. That was the Indigo League, only 2 years. And then they had like a bunch of other series after that.
This is hard. This is very hard.
Like, I'm saying as objectively as possible, since I don't want like me to go with my gut or what I like. I would say Pokemon.
If we're going on objectivity and just like, if we're going on appeal alone and like universality, then yeah, I have to say Pokemon. But if we're going off of a show, the better written show, like the better, I wouldn't say better produced, but just like the better show story-wise.
Technically better. As like in terms of technicality, yeah. Animaniacs. Either one of these, I don't see winning out on Hey Arnold.
No,
if we're being honest.
No, I would. As much as I love Animaniacs, it's not clear. Like, it really
if we're being honest,
they can. Honest, these two could be tied for second at this point.
Yeah. Should we just call it? I think we should just call it at this point.
I think we should, because they have to be. They're not beating Hey Arnold.
It doesn't even matter. None of these shows are beating Hey Arnold. We can call it. The winner of 90s cartoons TV tournament is Hey Arnold.
Woohoo!
Woo! I wish we had just like realized that a lot earlier, because
honestly, it's good that we kind of have that in our back pocket, that if there truly is a show or two shows and like in the final round that we know is not gonna beat the like ultimate boss, they share second place. It's a tie.
The problem is the semifinals between like Hey Arnold and Rugrats should have definitely been the finals.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely should have been the finals.
Absolutely.
Because neither of the other shows could beat Hey Arnold.
But now that we've called it for
Hey Arnold
second, should we or we've called it for Hey Arnold, should we take a moment to say what we I mean, I feel like what I appreciate about the show is pretty transparent.
Go for it.
We have a winner circle moment.
Go for it. Yeah.
I meant you go first, but I could go first.
Yeah, go first. I usually go first, but go first, please.
Okay. What I like about Hey Arnold, if it wasn't so clear in me bulldozing it through every other choice that it came up against, but I really like that it was a show that wasn't afraid to kind of have those really intelligent, emotional moments for kids. They weren't going to talk down to get, like, it didn't feel like a show that like you could grow out of it with watching it. Like, but even now as like a 22, 23-year-old person, I still appreciate the emotional intelligence of the show and what it was trying to do, and just how like I don't know, having a kid's show set in like an urban setting, like a city, is also like very unique too. I don't think there's a ton of shows that are like set in like a city.
What city do you think it was set in?
I think it was, if I remember correctly, it's supposed to be like an amalgamation of New York, San Francisco, and one other city.
I think Seattle.
Yeah, in Seattle. Because that makes sense, because Craig Bartlett is from Seattle. Or like either Seattle or Portland, one of the two.
Portland, sorry. I literally was thinking Portland, but I said Seattle.
Honestly, they go one and the same for me. They're the same place, divided by a state. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's a really good show. If you haven't watched it in a while, like if it's been some years, I highly recommend revisiting it Nothing else. It's just a really calm show. Like it will put you to sleep, but not in a bad way, because it's just the backing tracks, like the score of to use jazz in a kids show. That's a choice, because I don't know if kids are liking jazz that much. But
you like
Hey Arnold,
jazz?
you like jazz? That was Hey Arnold. So
Moji says that he actually grew up in Portland and Seattle.
Oh, see, that makes sense. That adds up.
Same city, pretty much.
I think like Hey Arnold just speaks to, I guess, my eventual love of just like mellow TV shows. It is definitely in the same caliber of like As Told by Ginger and The Weekenders. Like this is the only show that could really compete with those those other ones. And it really just like really does kind of cement the fact that Nick owned 90s cartoons.
Yeah.
Like they owned the cartoon sphere for a while, but in recent years have kind of passed the baton over to Cartoon Network, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it definitely, like, it was one of, I would say behind Rugrats, it was the show. Like, Hey Arnold felt like the cool kids show in the 90s. Like, you liked Rugrats, but you really liked Hey Arnold because there were so many different characters that you could say, like, oh, I like Gerald, or I like Phoebe, or Helga, or like Rhonda, whoever it was. I don't know. I also love a good ensemble show too, and it was very, very good at that. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Such a great show. Like I mean, like, if we want to say lo-fi shows, Hey Arnold, As Told by Ginger, Weekenders. I'm gonna say Doug as well. I know you're not a fan of Doug, but it's definitely a lo-fi show.
Oh yeah, I would not argue with you. It's very lo-fi, and like lo-fi and like slice of life. Like there's no real like big bad villain. Like Helga kind of is, but she's got more to her than just being
a lot of depth. Like she was probably one of the very first like well-written like girl characters I've ever seen. Like ones that had depth.
And I think they were planning on, I don't know if it was after the movie or whatever it was, but she was supposed to get a spinoff like about like her family. And I don't know.
That would have been really fucking sad.
That's what I was going to say. I don't know if there's really much redeeming qualities for any of them, I would say.
Because like Arnold's backstory is that his family like disappeared or was like killed or whatever.
And the Jungle movie, I think, explains it, but because I didn't see it, it's still a mystery to me.
Still a mystery. I think they died or something.
They got Amelia Earharted, basically.
Yeah, they got Amelia Earharted. And that was really sad. But like Helga's is objectively more sad and actively traumatizing.
It's sad in real time. Like
it's sad in real time.
Like she hasn't been saved. Like it's still going on.
It's sad and live streamed. I'm sorry, Helga. Helga Pataki, is that her name?
Helga G. Pataki. And her sister's name is
What's Arnold's last name? I forgot.
Short Man.
Seriously?
And that's like his grandpa calls him like, hey, short man. And people think it's because he's physically short.
Small.
His last name is Short, like Shortman. Arnold Shortman.
You know what? It does suit him. I was just like looking at him and I was, for whatever reason, the thought popped into my head that he looks like he'd be a snow bunny.
Like Snow Bunny in that like
in like
Black Women's War.
Yeah, in that kind of way.
Arnold?
Yeah.
I mean, his best friend is a black man, so I don't know what.
I don't see a timeline where like Arnold and Helga truly get together. I do feel like they go apart. Arnold finds some lovely black woman. They end up getting married and having babies, and then maybe they.
Oh my God! Have you seen Love Is Blind?
No.
I love Love Is Blind.
Arnold gives me Cameron vibes.
I love Cameron and Lauren.
He gives me Cameron vibes.
The way Cameron and Lauren have a grip on my mental health.
Are they the interracial couple?
Yeah.
The white guy and the black. I think I've seen his face.
Like the same vibes. I don't know what it is.
It's that.
But the vibes are there.
Calm. Cameron was.
That's
calm.
it.
He literally was
That's
just
it.
like, I'm here for love. I love you. That's all. That's all. That he was like, "How do I support you?" He was literally like, "I have AI science money, and I have a 3-bedroom
Like,
house. I will give you the world. All you got to do is love me back."
I
That
want to
was
hear Chat's take on this because I really believe that Cameron and Arnold Shortman have the same energy. I can't explain it, but he does.
From the description of this person, I give my sample of approval. That definitely sounds right to me.
literally it. Bobby, you do not need to watch basically anything else of Love Is Blind because all the other couples garbage.
I'm sure you can find compilations on YouTube.
Just watch, just just watch a condensation of Cameron and Lauren, because that shit. You're just like, oh, I believe in love again.
And it's because of them.
It's because
of
of
the way he loves this woman. I just watched it. I was like, good for her. I was like, this is what she deserves.
I think since we're at the end of the episode, we can kind of low-key spoil what the next episode will be. We do TV tournament every other week. That means, what is the next Thursday of this month? The 30th, September 30th. We will come back to you with TV tournament sitcoms edition.
Did you say next week is the 30th of September?
The next Thursday is the 30th.
Week after next.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you definitely said next Thursday.
The next Thursday we will be doing TV tournament is sitcoms.
Yeah. Week after next. But if you come back next Thursday, what do you guys do next Thursday? I know that I won't be here.
Nothing.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, we are doing something. I just don't know what it is.
Okay. Wow, yeah. Momo, you just canceled our stream without asking anybody. You're like, no, we're not having it. Okay.
I just don't know what it is.
Momo said friendship canceled, stream canceled. Hey Arnold supremacy, and that Sandy is black.
Yeah. All right. Oh, Bobby, do you want to plug anything else other than your podcast?
Follow my TikTok. They're deciding not to suppress me anymore, so let's ride that momentum until they inevitably fuck me over again. But if you haven't seen me,
okay, that they wanted to tell us we were very funny to watch, and that they haven't laughed as hard as they did in a long time.
Oh, thank you. We'll see you next time. So put it in your calendar. Same time, 2 weeks from now.
I like how we have a stream next week. They can also come and laugh at
No, but I'm saying first TV tournament. TV tournament is 2 weeks from now on Thursday.
Yeah, so if you're expecting me and Momo, it will just be Momo. It will not
If you're expecting TV tournament next week, you will be disappointed. Every other week.
Disappointed.
I'm so glad to have you.
Thank you, Moshi, for loving me too, because apparently I don't matter.
All right, we'll see you next week. Goodbye.